Hello everyone, this hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series. We're starting a brand unit today. This one is new ideas, new business, not new ideas, new business. And what we're going to be looking at, if I go to the class description, just a quick look what this means. So as you can see here, I'm talking about here we go. In this unit, you'll begin by hearing interviews with successful business startups. So we're going to be talking all about entrepreneurship, starting a business. Later on, we'll be practicing language for just inquiring about work and life and asking for a favor. We're going to have to use those skills at the end of the unit because you're going to need a favor in the case study where you're going to try to start a new division and you'll need help from other divisions to get started with that. So that's a little bit about the class. Here's a bit about me. I'm Jon-Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. So turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so we can keep the classroom quiet. Tune in to the new words you're learning. Use them actively so I can correct you in the class. And finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And that is all you need to know about me. Let's see who's out there. I see Daniel. Hello, Daniel. I see Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
You're having your morning coffee, everyone? Morning coffee?
I'm taking a tea as well now.
Yeah, okay, that's all right. That's all right. A vodka? A what, Daniel?
A bica.
A bica. Uma bica.
Português. Bica. Una bica.
It depends on where you're from. If you're in the north, it's a cimbolino or something like that. So here it can be a bica, but a bica is not as good as a cafe. I think there's a difference.
Bica is a boost in your life.
Let's see who else is out there too. Antonio. Let's see. Do I know this Antonio? Antonio, I think you're new here. Is that right? Antonio, don't forget, turn on your microphone.
Hi, I have some class, yeah.
I don't recognize you. Antonio Gasquez? How do I say your name?
Yes, it's Antonio Gasquez. I'm from Seville.
From Seville?
Yeah, in Spain.
Maybe you were here. I remember someone from Seville. Maybe it was you. Okay, maybe I never saw your last name before. Okay, and welcome back, Carmen and Sylvia as well. Oh, Sylvia's gone. She'll be back. Hello, Carmen.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Okay, listen. I'm going to put the presentation on screen for you. And you know you can always download the class material on the front page of the class. But I'm going to put the link for you, if you don't have it open, right there. So it's in the chat window. Okay, but I'll share my screen with you so you can see it as much as possible. So there you go. Can everyone see that? What happened to Antonio? Oh, Antonio's still there. Okay, so someone left. Who left? Sylvia left. She'll be back. She has trouble getting in. Okay, maybe I'm imagining. I thought we had another person. Let's get started. What comes to mind when you think of new business, of startups? What comes to mind when you hear that word, startups, new business?
To get a good idea to make a new business.
Good idea. Daniel, here's a suggestion though. In Spanish you'll use the infinitive a lot, but in English we use the gerund more often.
Okay.
Right? So say that again, but I want you to use the ing form.
Mm-hmm.
So exactly the same sentence, but just use the ing form.
Having a good idea.
Perfect. And what else?
Having a good idea to to make a new business.
Okay, so startup is all about new ideas, a new business with a new idea. Okay,
Good. Sorry, good. Good idea. No new idea. I mean good idea.
okay. What's a good idea? What is a good idea then?
Something which works in some way.
Something which works in some way, as opposed to nothing which doesn't work in any way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Abstract.
So I'm going to put the word. I'm going to put the word. Oh, you know what? I should actually open our notes. I think I'll do it at the end. I'm going to put the word startup in the chat window because that's mostly what we'll be talking about. Rebecca, do you know any companies that are startups?
Any company now?
Do you know any companies that are startup companies?
Uh,
Are you familiar with that term, startups?
no, I'm not sure. Yes, no.
Let's ask the class. Do any of you know any startup companies? What do you think is a good example of a startup? Class, any of you, all of you. What do you think?
Is it a new company?
Yeah. And as Daniel said, it's a new company with a good idea, something that makes the business, whatever their business is, makes it work in a way that's better than everyone else. That's part of the definition. What if I told you
10 years ago.
Sorry?
10 years ago, Facebook was.
Yeah.
10 years ago, Facebook
Yeah.
was a good start.
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. So Facebook was a startup. What about Verbling? Do you think Verbling is a startup?
Yes.
Okay. So what makes a startup like Verbling or Facebook 10 years ago different from IBM or Microsoft?
Innovative ideas, because it's something completely new. Was not before.
So innovation is a key point. Okay, very good. I agree with that completely. Yeah. Anything else? How old is IBM? Do you know?
75.
Back to the 60s or 70s, something like that.
More.
More than that. The 50s
More.
then.
More.
The 20s.
75 years old.
This is an interesting fact. I don't know. I don't. Well,
I
actually,
think,
maybe.
IBM is created in the end of 20th century.
The end of the 20th century,
And
or
the
the end
end
of
of
the 19th?
19th century.
No,
End of the 19th.
my mom worked for IBM, and that was before I was born, so that must be 60s.
Okay. Daniel, why do you say 75 years? Do you know something specific?
No, because I watch a TV movie.
Yeah.
Mad Men.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the 60s, I think
Yeah,
they
61 or
they
something.
bought a computer, IBM,
Right.
in a huge room.
Right. We call it a mainframe. The mainframe computers, and they were as powerful as your calculator.
Yes.
Right, back then, full of vacuum tubes. Well, here's the thing. I know that IBM is older because IBM used to work during World War II, and that's where a lot of their economic power came from. Because, I mean, whether they started before or not, they became a huge international thing because during World War II, computer science took off in a really big way. So IBM was hired by both sides, by Nazi Germany and by the United States, to do all kinds of things. And it worked for both sides of the line. So that's one thing I remember, that it was used both sides of the war line, we could say. So I know it was a big company then. And Alan Turing, there's going to be a movie about him soon, the guy who kind of put moved computing forward in a big way. It was all around the same time, so that big leap forward during World War II. So my question is it just the fact that startups are new, or is there something different about the way they began? Because IBM is definitely not a startup. So it began in a different way than Verbling, and it began in a different way than Facebook. So that's what I'm saying. Can we identify the real difference between how a startup begins and how IBM begins?
Is to start a new project different from the others.
Yeah. Yeah, IBM, were there any computers and calculators before IBM? I mean,
Yeah.
well, there wasn't really much competition. so
Yeah, but
go ahead, yeah.
no, I just wanted to say, for instance, if you're talking about Facebook or Weblink, what they're using is the new technologies that already exist. So they create something new, something that's very innovative, but they're using the technologies that we've got right now.
Something new with existing technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different.
Sounds pretty good. We call that a niche. A niche, which is a good German word that we use. Niche.
Can you write it down, please?
Yep.
Yes, startup often focused on the niche market because they are quite small company, so they concentrate on the very small market, especially it possible such a business is possible on the field of internet business.
Yeah, absolutely, because you can hone in, focus on a small group of users, because you have the to access. So that small group of users with a particular interest, multiplied by all the countries that have access to internet, becomes a big group. So that's a good example. We say we exploit a niche. Exploit a niche. You find the little niche, the thing that needs a product or a service, and you exploit it in a way that a big company might not have the time and the energy to exploit it, right? So, sounds pretty good. Look at this picture and tell me how the picture relates to the theme of new business, of startups. Sylvia, let's start with you. You like describing pictures. I know you. Sylvia is asleep. Oh, she's on the phone. Antonio, you're kind of new.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me a little bit about how this picture relates to the theme of new business. Think about what we've talked about with startups.
Yeah.
What do you think?
In the picture, we can see some type of plant growing. I think that one person grow this plant in a different way, more efficiently. Or these plants have no market in his country, and he's want to open this type of fruit or something similar. I don't know.
Okay, so maybe there's an innovative way to grow something important and sell it.
Yeah.
By the way, look at the chat window, Antonio. You said in this picture we can see,
Sí.
right? But the word can is in Spanish. In English, we just say we see.
We see.
Yeah, just we see. We don't need can
Okay.
because, yeah, okay, very good. All right. And Carmen, what do you think? Do you think it's just about selling plants in a better way, or do you think there's a metaphor here?
It's I don't have any idea of what I would go for. It's like the beginning of something. You know, if something is being born. So perhaps sprouting. That's it. Like the plants. That's it.
Right. Sprouting plants. So the metaphor. So Carmen, what is the metaphor then? The sprouting metaphor.
The new business.
Is like a
Emerging.
is like a sprouting plant.
Mhm.
In that, just because it's new, is that what you mean?
No, it's just a starting new business, and it's like when you got a plant and it's sprouting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Adi, are you there?
Yes,
Out there
I'm
in
here.
Indonesia somewhere.
Yeah,
Where are you? In
Jakarta.
Jakarta? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So Carmen was saying that a new business is like a sprouting plant. So that picture is maybe a metaphor. What do we have to do with a plant when it's just sprouting? What do we have to do with a startup when it's just beginning? If we follow the metaphor, what do we need to do?
Yes.
What do you
We
think?
need to. I think we need to take care of them every day. We need
Ah,
to giving it watering, and then many stuff that we have to do. And I think that's similar when we open the new business.
absolutely. We have to be very attentive. We have to trying to think of the best vocabulary here. But I like what you said. We have to really take care of them every day. We have to be attentive. We have to keep an eye on the business. Some other expressions we might want to say. Everyone, take a look at the chat window and tell me what other things could we say along with what Adi mentioned. He says we have to take care of them very carefully in the beginning. So I'm saying be attentive, keep an eye on the business. What are some other expressions we might say to get the business started? Some other key expressions we might use. Any ideas? No? Okay.
I have one, but it's difficult to pronunciate. Is entrepreneur or
Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur.
yeah.
That is a good key word. Entrepreneur. It's hard to spell too.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Entrepreneur. I'll put it in the chat window. Entrepreneur. And we say entrepreneurship, which is the act of being an entrepreneur. Okay? And some key expressions might be attentive, keep an eye on, and cultivate. We have to cultivate a new business just like we cultivate a new plant. Does that make sense? What I mean by cultivate? Yeah? No?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Raphael, are you there? Because I see you just joined us. Are you there, Raphael?
Yes, I'm here.
Raphael,
Yes.
we're talking about startups,
Yeah.
new businesses, and Carmen had mentioned that this image is kind of a metaphor. So we have to take care of the plants, the new plants, like we have to take care of a new business. Raphael, in what way might we cultivate a startup, or in what way might a startup need to be cultivated, in your opinion?
In my opinion, there are several reasons that need to be we need to cultivate any startup. One of them could be we are developing a new idea with a new team and for this reason it's so dangerous to be not careful with what happened in the team, what happened in the market, and you are looking around you what is happening with with your competitors, what is happening in the market, in your surrounding. For this reason, you need to cultivate, to be very precious. What are you doing? What you need to do? Yeah.
What you are doing.
What you are doing, and what do you need to do?
Wait.
The next step.
Wait. Not what do you need to do, but what you need to do.
What you need to do, because new times, any startup need to be very careful what the step that they have to do in the short run and in the long run. For this reason, this is my opinion.
Good. And let me add one thing there. Look in the chat window. You said we have to be careful because when we're developing a new idea, probably working with a new team, one of the things is looking around you. We might call that reading the environment, reading the situation, reading the environment. So you've really got to, because if you're not aware of the environment, you might make a big mistake at a time when the company is vulnerable. Meaning that. So last question: how do startups start up? Why might they be vulnerable in the beginning? How do they actually start up?
Are you asking me?
Startups are like plants because it has potential to grow quickly. There you go, Carmen. It has the potential to grow quickly if you cultivate it. So, no, I'm asking everyone, not just you, Raphael. I'm asking the whole class. How do startups start up? What's the key ingredient? It's not just a new idea, but it's... What's the key ingredient that makes it different than, say, IBM? Or makes it different than, say, let me think of a good example in the States. Microsoft is the best example that I can think of a non-startup. Do you know why Microsoft is definitely not a startup? Or Skype? Do you know why Skype is not a startup?
I think the key thing is that the development is very quickly in those business, what you call startups. The other ones like Skype, Microsoft, is because they are developing at a slower rate. You know, I think that's.
And where did they develop? That's what I'm getting at. Where did Skype develop? Do you know?
Skype is from it was from Microsoft, no?
No.
It was bought by Microsoft. Do you know where it's from? Do you know where Skype is from? It's a funny story.
I don't have any idea. No.
It's from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Okay.
So Skype was paid for by our tax dollars. We paid for it.
Okay.
And then it privatized. And I don't know about you, but I never got a check for all that tax money that I invested. Okay. So that's why I say it's not a startup, because it was publicly funded. The Pentagon gave money to MIT. MIT developed something that later was called Skype. In the beginning, it was called just VoIP or whatever. And Verbling, like you said, is using existing technologies in an innovative way. So that's not how it developed. How do you think Verbling got started?
So the difference, if I get what you mean, is that you're investing your own money, not public money.
Exactly. Investment. I think that's the key. Someone believes in your idea.
Startup company firstly make a plan and show this plan to investment. Investment have interest in this company and decide to invest this company. That's maybe common beginning of startup. Yeah. I'm on right track.
Make a business
Yeah.
plan. Make a business plan. Absolutely. You
So
can
in this
go
meaning,
to
Microsoft is not a startup.
absolutely.
Yes.
That's my
Microsoft
opinion.
is just a student, young person, just
Yeah, yeah, but a
just
young person
create a
working for the military. Bill Gates was working for the Pentagon or something
yes,
when
yes,
he
I know.
developed those.
Hmm.
So it's all public money. Microsoft was totally subsidized. So at no point.
How about Steve Jobs? Maybe Steve Jobs, the company Apple is more close to startup.
Yeah, the guy
Of
took a lot of
yes,
risks, but he was a
and
jerk.
the in front of them, investor appeared. Yeah,
Exactly.
yes. When
There,
he began his business in garage, uh, he called many investors, many companies to invest, asking invest to his company. One of them touched reached
One of the
to his one of his asking
investors.
investors reached to one person. He appeared and he offered to invest young company Apple. And after he became a president of Apple.
Yeah, he did something. I didn't read his biography. I personally couldn't care less about him personally, but you're absolutely right. He took a lot of risks and he got to be president. He moved
Yes.
up. Absolutely. One thing we can say, Yuki, is up and coming. He was an up and coming professional. Apple was an up and coming company. Up and coming. That means about to break through with something new. But let me just ask a quick question to Daniel. Daniel, you mentioned crowdsourcing. That is a great way to bring our talk up to the present. What can you tell me about crowdsourcing?
I only heard about it about news,
Right?
new readers, and I think it's if you think you have a very good idea for business
Mm-hmm.
in a website, you can ask for investment. People
To whom?
for
In
you.
crowdsourcing, whom are you asking? Are you asking the government?
No.
No. Who?
People in general,
Exactly. Yeah,
no
the
public
public.
money.
Like Kickstarter, Kickstarter.com, for example. And the best Kickstarter project of all time was the guy who wanted investment so that he could make, what was it? Oatmeal for the first time?
A pizza.
No, it was, something like that. He wanted to make, watch me make potato salad. Yeah, that's what it was. It was potato salad. Invest in me and I will make potato salad for the first time. And the guy got like $30,000 or something. You know what? I've got to Google for this because I've got to tell you the amount of money he received. It was insane. Hold on a second. Potato salad Kickstarter. I got to tell you how much money he received from this. It's insane. And he started a website, Potato Salad by Zach Danger Brown. He got $55,000 to make potato salad. $55,000.
Very good idea.
It is a great idea. I love potato salad. I love it. $55,000 to make potato salad. All right. I think we've got some really good ideas about what a startup is, and we've got some great vocabulary too. Up and coming is a good word. Having a business plan, getting investors, finding a niche market. These are all good ideas. So in working with words, we're going to try to expand on that vocabulary. And so we're going to start with a little discussion, and if we have time, we're going to get into one little listening. Probably we'll do that tomorrow, I think. We're not going to really have time. So let's go to some of these discussion points, and I want you to, as we do this, I'm going to keep adding to the vocabulary, and I'll add it to our notes. What attracts people to starting their own business? Adi, let's hear from you. You've been very quiet out there in Jakarta. How would you answer the first one, Adi?
What attract, because very noisy right here, that's why I have to talk. What
Ah.
attract people to starting up their own business? I think because there is a opportunity or possibility for the market.
Yeah, keep going. What do you mean? Give me an example or give me an illustration. I think you're right, but
I think when you are looking, looking, I mean, like it is like read the environment. So when you are reading the environment, there is a possibilities you will interest to starting one of kind that business that in the market that it will be possible to grow up.
all right. So if you're really reading the environment well, you'll see those niches that we were talking about. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Hey, very
Yes,
good.
that's the idea.
By the way, Kickstarter is a crowdsourcing website.
Okay.
Just so you know, there's a bunch of them. There's more than just Kickstarter, but that's the one that is probably best known.
Okay.
Carmen, don't change your picture because you'll confuse me. Because then I think you're someone else. I get confused.
We jealous.
Okay,
So-
I get it out. Okay, so Kickstarter is like does it mean something? But I think Kickstarter is when you try to start a motorbike. It's like you just kick it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then.
Yeah, you kick it. You the force, how hard you push on the on the clutch or whatever the hell it is, I don't know. However hard you push your foot down, that force will enable the engine to start. That's exactly right.
Okay then.
So kickstart and jumpstart are actually really good words. Kick, start, or jump start mean the same thing. Very good, actually. So what do we think about what Adi is saying? Or are there other ideas about what attracts people? Daniel, you said to not have a boss. To not have a boss, right?
Yes.
You think that's
to be your own boss?
Yeah, that's the dream of everyone, to be your own boss.
Maybe
Just like
you should work harder.
Who, me?
No, in general,
Oh, okay.
if you have your own business, you should work harder than you work for a company, for example.
You should or you must?
You must, sorry, you must.
Yeah, that's the idea. If you work really hard, I guess what happens, tell me if you agree, I guess what happens is that people get fed up with being in the corporate structure and they think I could do this better on my own and I'd have no one breathing down my neck, right? Breathing down my...
We got the same expression in Spanish.
Yes.
You say the same thing? Breathing down my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sylvia says fed up. Yeah, fed up with the corporate world, and you think you can do it better on your own because you'll never move up. That's the problem. Nowadays, it's very hard to move up the corporate ladder. When you move up, you fall out the window because it's not quite like it used to be. So, I mean, sometimes you have no other choice. You have to be your own boss, or there's no way to go forward. So at least that's what I see in the teaching world, anyway. Sylvia, what do you think are the challenges to a startup? You're starting out in life. If you wanted to do a startup, what would you be facing, Sylvia?
Maybe you don't know if you can succeed in this, and maybe you'll lose everything, all the money that you have, because you can spend all the money that you have in this new activity, and then something's going wrong and you lose everything.
Absolutely. So losing your investment is a major concern. I agree. Any other ideas? What are some other challenges, class?
Many startups have no idea how to practically make use of money.
Okay. You mean how the
they
budget? How the
they would
budget?
get from a budget. How to lead. They have no idea to they have no idea to they have no idea how to deal with budget plan.
That's a good point.
Yes, they have an idea about innovation, about product, but many have a problem of financial things.
And even a lack of experience because, for example, I work for, every company I work for is a startup, all of them, every single one. And I can tell you, without naming names, I'm not actually talking about Verbling per se, but I can tell you there's always something that they don't know because they're startups. In some cases, it's the money. In other cases, it's human resources. You know, like they just don't have any clue about it because they've never been a big corporation and they have to kind of figure it out. So it could be any element that we might be used to in a company. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Okay, and what about this last one? Raphael, can you tackle question number 3 for us? And also, Rebecca, you've been very quiet too. Raphael, you read question 3, give us your opinion, and Rebecca, I'd like to hear from you on this too.
Are business startups in some sectors of the... I can't see properly because I have a new device and I don't see.
Well, listen to this. Listen to this. Yeah. Rebecca, do you think you could read 3 for us? Because he can't see the screen very well. Can you read it?
Okay, which one? 3?
Yes, please.
Read. Are business startups in some sectors of economy likely to be more successful than others? Why?
So, what do you think about that? Yeah, what do you think? What's your opinion?
Of course, I think nowadays everything that involves technology has more opportunity to be successful. I think, you know.
Absolutely. So the tech sector is more likely to be successful these days.
Yeah.
Okay. And Raphael, what sectors do you think would be facing more challenges than the tech sector? Think it might be hard in another area?
I think every time the world is changing and new technologies are surprising us, and you need to be very, very aware what happened. What happened in reading the environment, as you said before.
Right.
To trying to find opportunities in new sectors, in new niches of the market. Niche.
Yeah.
Niche of the market, trying to find good opportunities. Perhaps technologies right now is one important sector to find new opportunities, but also if you are looking at the street, you are looking what's happening in your neighbor, you can find any opportunities right now. For example,
wait 1 second. You can find any, or you can find some?
You can find some opportunities.
Right. If it's positive, it's some. If it's negative, it's any. So you can find some opportunities in your neighborhood. Okay. You have an idea in mind?
Yeah. Right now in my city, there are a lot of bread stores that are opening. You can find in anywhere, in any corner, bread stores. I don't know why, but there are many startups making bread everywhere. I don't know why.
Bread, like
bread.
Pane, boulangerie.
Yeah.
That kind of bread?
Boulangeries, yeah, there are a lot of them.
Really?
Surrounding me, yeah.
Where are you, in Madrid?
Yeah.
Ah, that's strange. I wonder why.
I don't know.
No,
10 years ago, nobody ate bread for nothing. It was a kind of dangerous meal, but right now there are brainstorm of bread stores everywhere.
wow, wow. And Antonio, in Seville, that's happening too?
Yes,
Anto-
yes. It's happening to the various stories in everywhere.
and is it successful in Seville?
Yeah, I don't know, but the people buy bread. I I think it's successful for now. It's like the restaurants in Seville is in mod the restaurant with more you know the tiny the tiny dishes and
The what dishes?
something similar.
The
Uh, the tiny dishes, small
tiny dishes,
dishes. Yes,
small plates, small plates.
it's a small place.
Ah,
It's like that. It's a trend. I think.
so you don't mean tapas, you mean
No, no,
small.
no.
Oh,
It's a small place. It's not tapas.
okay. By the way, we don't say in mode, we say in fashion.
In fashion. Okay.
And not place, but plates, Yuki. Plates, small plates.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Absolutely. So you mean kind of like people want to sample different kinds of things. So you've got these small plates that you can have this variety when you go out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's very interesting. Um, let me just ask you a quick question about startups. What do you know about? I hate to bring this up because it's so old, but I have to. It's very hard to think about startups without thinking about Sir Richard Branson. I just hate to mention his name because he's just so old. But anyway, it's such a classic example of what a startup is. What What do you know about Virgin? Out of curiosity, what do you know about Virgin, the company?
The records company?
Well, that's the thing. It's not just records, is it?
The music. Okay.
Virgin Music. What else? What other kind of virgins are there?
Planes,
Say again, Daniel.
a flight company.
Absolutely. Virgin Airlines, Virgin Records. What else?
I think they trying to do trips out space.
They just crashed, in
Yeah,
fact.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
It's
So
true.
think about that the next time you buy your ticket to Virgin
Yeah.
Galactic.
Yes, Virgin
Yeah.
Group faces difficulties now. And this Virgin Group has their bank companies, but they have also problem now. Yesterday, I watched on CNN about Virgin banks in
Virgin Banks? I don't know about
yes,
that, really.
they have bank companies as well, but they have a financial problem now after the catastrophe of
Oh,
after
they lost their
a
investors.
accident. Yeah. Yes, they are losing investments.
Do you think that's a big problem for them?
I think it's a quite big problem, but this company is all policy of this company is made by leader, yeah, Richard Branson. He has a very charisma. So maybe he find a way to deal with the problems. Maybe.
He always does.
Yes.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. The way Virgin began, tell me if I'm wrong about this. I don't remember the whole story, but as far as I recall, he did something. It was like the late 60s, early 70s, and everyone was into, living in alternative ways. And his big alternative way was to have an alternative business. So
do you know what is his first success?
I don't know. I thought it was airplanes.
How he succeeded in founding his company? No, he created a record company. His first album is Micro Oldfield one.
The first one was what?
His company is record company.
Right.
His first record released is Micro Oldfield. Mike Oldfield.
Mike Oldfield.
Yes, Mike Oldfield.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you know?
Mike
Oldfield? Have you heard music of on the film Exorcist?
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah, the Tubular Bells.
Oh, Tubular Bells.
Tubular Bells, yes, Tubular Bells, yes. So his success mainly owed to Michael Oldfield. Yes. It's amazing story.
Do you know what? Sorry, go ahead.
But I think Richard Branson think Michael Oldfield consider Michael Oldfield his friend, but Michael Oldfield don't think he's a friend.
Why not? What happened?
Because Richard Branson almost forget about Michael Oldfield after he succeeded in business. So,
well, he had to expand, of course.
Yes. He expanded his business field.
I know that Branson was responsible for something else. He was almost single-handedly responsible for punk music, because he signed the Sex Pistols. No,
really?
Yeah.
I think Sex Pistols is another level, no?
They were, but Virgin.
The oldest Virgin.
They switched to Virgin, and they have a song about EMI, about what a they were trashing EMI or something like that. So they switched to Virgin, and they had just begun. They were doing a tour of the States, so that was like a big move, and a very risky one too. So it kind of music because
so
people in New York.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead, yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say that it was like a second British invasion. People in New York might have known about it, and things like that. But the Sex Pistols were touring in like Texas, with crowds of like 12 people. So, I mean, I think that it was a huge publicity boost, and then it opened the floodgates for every kind of little punk band to get signed, even if they only made one album or not even an album. I think that was and around the same time, I think in the late 70s was when he started the airline, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I think, and that was like an unthinkable thing, right? Well, how does this guy doesn't know anything about airplanes, but he just saw that there was
unexpected.
Yeah.
Yes, it is unexpected. Yes. That this man, Richard Branson, now get into the space business. Before his business is related to progressive rock and punk rock, Now he is space business. I don't understand.
And also mobile phones. I used to have a Virgin mobile phone.
Really?
Carmen said Jim's. Is that right?
Yes, really? But I don't know if they are related.
Well, if it has the name Virgin, I mean, that's his label. It probably is. No? Probably.
Oh, I guess so.
She also have many friends from Russia, entrepreneurs, so they have a strong contact.
Interesting.
Yes.
So
they all appear the Ukraine. They are against the sanction taken by Europe.
So
I don't know.
So what does that mean for Virgin? So he's getting money from Russian investors? Is that it?
I don't know. Just he has many connection with Russian entrepreneurs. They
Right.
have their they have their group of club of entrepreneurs.
Right.
So Richard Branson is a leader of this club of entrepreneurs club.
How can I join the club?
You have to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Maybe. First of all, and your business should be new revolutionary. enough to pay attention to Richard Branson's
All right, I
interest.
can do that. Antonio, I'd like to ask you to finish up class. I'd like to ask you first. What would be your revolutionary startup?
Okay. My revolutionary startup. Some years ago,
What's a good idea?
Yes, I tried to. In some years ago, I tried to make a travel with Las Vegas, but in link the people with the social network. I like to do something like that. So travels or something similar.
Mm-hmm. So travel, we might want to say that we can say travel and we can say trip. So in this case, so you mean planning trips using social networks, kind of like couchsurfing.com or something like that, or BRB.
Yeah.
Do you know those? Exactly. Yeah. All right, very good. And Carmen, what about you? What's your revolutionary startup idea?
I'm not much of an innovative person, you know.
Well, now's
so
your chance.
I don't come up with good ideas.
Well, think about something. Think about a niche. Is there a niche out there in your everyday life that you think needs to be filled? What would it be?
Yeah, for me that would be, but not for. I mean, I wouldn't be the one with a startup. Would be another company, someone who comes up with a good idea about languages and sets up a business about languages online.
Okay,
like
all right.
Like Verbling, but with all kind of languages in the world.
That would be my company. I would like to do
it.
Okay
then, I will follow. But you put the money.
Exactly, I just don't have the money. Daniel, what's your revolutionary startup?
I wish I know it. I don't know.
Well, think about a niche out there. So Carmen is saying there's a niche because language schools online don't handle every kind of language. So at that point, what niche do you see in your everyday life that you think needs to be filled?
I don't know.
Think about it. We're coming back to you. Think about it.
Okay.
Sylvia, what's your revolutionary startup? Think about a niche that needs to be filled.
Something about cooking.
Okay, that's different. Can you be a little more specific? Don't tell me a chain of bread stores in Spain. Something else.
Something new. Okay, some kind of typical local pasta that there is here in Tuscany, but nowhere in all over the world.
Okay, tell me about that. That sounds very good.
I know, even if different, because okay, last week I was in London. I discovered that in London they have some tortellini with inside a bolognese sauce.
Right.
And they say that this is Italian, but that's not Italian. So maybe I can try to open a startup with this that's not Italian, but
in London there was some there was someone doing Portuguese cuisine in London, introducing things that are very common here, and it was really successful because I guess they just don't have. I mean, they're used to they have they like the food from the colonies. They loved curries, but maybe they didn't have enough restaurants from different parts. Sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a good idea. I like it. And what is the typical pasta?
Here, okay, in my town is some tortelli that they are a kind of tortellini, but inside it's different. There is beef inside, and
I'm
very
a
different.
vegetarian. What do I do?
Vegetarian, okay, melanzana alla parmigiana.
Melanzana di Parmigiana.
Alla
So
parmigiana,
Parmesan
yes.
alla Parmigiana. Okay.
Parmesan melanzana. So eggplant.
Oh, right. I should remember this stuff. That's right, melanzana, eggplant. Got it. Aubergine, we also say.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, and Rebecca, I'm not done yet. Rebecca and Yuki, we need to hear yours. Rebecca, what's your revolutionary startup idea?
Okay, my start, I think, would be in the niche of medicine. You know.
Oh, okay.
For
A cure for
example,
Ebola, right?
yeah, no. No, this would be create a company of delivering medicines. You know, for
Okay.
example, I'm sick, I'm very bad, I'm living alone, I want to go out, so I just order my medicines and just that.
I see. Uh-oh, we lost you. Rebecca, we're losing you. You're breaking.
You know.
Your signal is breaking up a little bit. It's hard to hear you.
Oh.
There you're back. Okay, that's an interesting idea, actually, because what you mean is you don't have to go to the pharmacy comes to you.
Yeah. Nowadays, you can order everything, but I thought no medicines. You can order clothes, food, drinks, but never medicines.
I think that's a very good idea. I could see that being very useful, especially if you've got an old population that really, they're the ones who are always in the pharmacy, and sometimes it's really hard for them to go there. So
yeah, when you feel very, very bad, imagine an old person, very sick, and I think it makes life easier for all people.
Here's an idea. Why don't you send the medicine using drones? Instead of using drones in Iraq, why don't we use drones to deliver pharmacy over-the-counter medication? You open your window, the drone flies in, gives you your antibiotics, and then leaves. Yuki, we saved the best for last. Yuki?
I don't know why don't you offering new service, kind of doing homework instead of lazy student. So
that exists. That already exists.
Does it exist?
Yeah, you can outsource your homework. Absolutely. There's a startup in the United States called InstaEDU. I don't want to give them a plug,
already
exists. It's supposed to be for tutoring, but in reality, I worked on there for about a week, and it was a little too complicated because I don't have my bank account. I couldn't send the money from there to Europe. It was complicated, so I left. But it was interesting. People would basically have you do their homework for them, and you're supposed to be tutoring them, but actually you end up doing most of it for them.
Oh my God! I'd love to ask with such a company if it exists, because I'm quite lazy. So I didn't know it already exists. So I have
Well,
to
I
think
think
about another
there's
idea.
plenty of space out there for improving what's out there. What's out there doesn't seem that great. So I think there's also Fiverr.com, where you can pay anybody $5 to do anything.
Only
And so you just go
$5.
there. Yeah, the maximum you can spend is 5. So people will, if it's something really expensive, they'll break it up into parts. So you can hire a person to do anything for $5, and people use it for translation, doing homework, writing CV. You don't pay $5 for the whole thing. You pay $5 for the part that you want. But that's another place where you can get your homework done too. It's called Fiverr.
Independent of your offer, it all costs $5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the maximum you can spend.
Even hiring a killer.
Yeah, $5. You'd have to pay them in
$5.
parts. Like $5 to come to you, $5 to commit the murder, $5 to go to Argentina. Yeah, you'd have to break it up. $5.
It doesn't pay. You have to kill someone, receiving only $5.
Uh-huh.
How does it work? You will be arrested after receiving $5.
Well, maybe you should pay a little extra if you don't want to be arrested. But yes, a little extra. All right. Well, listen, everyone. We're going to stop here. I'm going to take our vocabulary and put it in the notes for you. And tomorrow, we're going to move on to acquiring some new vocabulary by starting to with a listening activity. We're going to then hone in on the vocabulary that we've heard. And we've got some really good vocabulary for you here. You can see a little bit of it on the screen. And don't forget, I updated the progress test. So I have the right version now. Okay, so bring your questions to class if there's anything that you've gotten wrong and you want help. I will help you out in tomorrow's class. Okay?
Okay.
Bye. Bye for now, everyone.
Have a nice day all. Take care.
Thank you for
Bye-bye.
the class.
Bye.
See you soon.